discuss about uh, some kind of computer, a little bit of history and overview, and then we'll try to enter in the computer architecture field. Screen is visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for books, you can use this Kaihong books or from Markout recommended books. This book, Rajaraman. Actually, any book is okay. So for simplicity, you can use these books. So if you don't have hard copy, then you can collect the soft copies. Or this book, number 3. So objective of this course, computer architecture. So the main objective is this course is in our syllabus. So we need to score some good marks. And if you want to work in core development, in hardware development field, then you need to have some knowledge about architecture of computing devices, how it works at least. So in this course, we'll try to understand and the overflow, how computing flows goes on. Obviously, we'll not develop from scratch any computing device, but we'll try to understand how things happens. And we'll try to analyze performance, how in which manner performance can be improved, and ultimately the overall design, the memory architecture, and how pipeline helps. The motivation mainly numbers, marks, and then if you have some knowledge as a computer science student, you should have some knowledge. Uh, Otherwise, in case you have only software knowledge, but you need to have some hardware knowledge, then at time of purchase, in any time, uh, though you may not work in computing device development work, building work, but in case of purchase of a computer or in any system, you will need this knowledge. And nowadays, embedded computers, in the field of embedded computers also, it will help us. So for in case of civil engineering, the structural design is important, but we are talking about the computer hardware, computer architecture. So mainly the circuits, electronic engineering will be helpful. Now, what is computer architecture? So, as we have discussed, in computer architecture, mainly we will discuss about different components of any computing device. units, processing units, and the output units, and how they interlinked, how they communicate with themselves. And one vast area is the instruction set architecture. So all these things, basic things, you all know in your computer organization classes. Okay, this is the block diagram for von Neumann model. So you all know. So for von Neumann basically separates the units. Here we have 5 units. So before this model, different computing devices were present, but this is the an standard model. Here we are dividing some units. We are recognizing, okay, this portion will be responsible for memory, any data storing or accessing. And in the same way, we are dividing this input output device, and we are controlling using some other unit. And for computing purpose, we have L unit. So this is the overall, you all know, just for recall. So we have also system bus model. So here the communication is happening mainly with the help of some shared bus. So in this scenario, on human model, we are communicating wherever necessary directly with the corresponding unit to unit. But here we are using the bus, shared bus, to communicate between the different units. So in computer architecture, we will be concerned about these things. So in a particular period of history, how which type of software is present, the hardware technology, all these things, which what are the hardwares already developed and available, and the underlying technology that is used to build the hardware. So right now we are using CMOS technology, the semiconductor technology, silicon technology. And with the help of this technology, we are building different logic gates and or okay. And with the help of these gates, again we are building some complicated circuits. I think someone is trying to. So to develop a new computing system, we should consider the underlying technology and the hardware. If we want to use whatever hardware and software is available, then we want to build a new system. Then we need to know about this technology hardwares, available hardwares, and the, the basic softwares. So with the help of underlying technology, we are building the hardware. Then on top of the hardware, we are using, we are placing the software. Now this will help us to in abstraction. So the technology itself will help us to abstract the implementation details because not everyone will know the details about the underlying technology and how the hardware is built. And then we have the software abstraction. So these are the different layer of abstractions. So now here we can see example of software abstraction. Here we have high level language. Then with the help of a compiler, we are converting this into assembly level language. And then we are further decoding this into machine level language so that it's understandable by the hardware itself, by the MIPS computers. So here the representation for we have hardware, and on top of this hardware we have some system softwares, and on top of system softwares we have application softwares. So anyone example of system software? So you all know.
The operating systems, drivers,
Yes, operating systems, drivers, and application software. So right now we are using this Adobe PDF file. So all these are application softwares. So just for recall, then this is some kind of free representation. So how software is classified. So we have application software and system software. In system software, we have compilers, operating systems, assemblers. And in operating system, again, it is concerning about how the memory will be management. Memory management will happen. File system, FAT or NTFS, and drivers, input output devices to access any new device. So anyone know about this latex? What is this? Use of latex.
kind of editing software for documents.
Yes, very good. So it is a text processing software. So we have Word or Notepad. So with the help of latex, we can document any scientific report in very precise manner. The work that is very difficult with MS Word or any other text processing software, we can use latex in that case. So hardware abstraction. So this is a representation of typical system. So we have some buses, bridge between the CPU and memory. So just for recall, you know all these things in your organization class. We have so many drivers, and we also have some expansion slots for future use. So block diagram, overall representation of. So our focus will be in this place between software and hardware, though the subject is computer architecture. So mainly we will focus on how software is communicating with the hardware, how the machine instructions is communicating with the underlying hardwares. So we'll try to understand this thing. So in our syllabus, this place is present. So we have different level of architectures. Instruction level architecture. This is the lowest level that is visible to a programmer. As a programmer, we can we can see this level, which instruction is where it is present right now, in which memory address or in which register we can access this information. And then we have microarchitecture. So as a programmer, we don't have this access to microarchitecture. So for that, we need to use the electronic knowledge. We need to assemble the, we need to open up the system. So instruction set architecture is present between in this place. So we have compiler and operating systems. So with the help of these instructions, we'll access the hardware. We'll use the CPU. So we have different processor states, radio frequency, instruction set encoding. So we'll know about this instruction encoding, instruction set architecture. So we know already the importance of this program counter. So how this memory is accessed, and we have some stack in our memory to access the memory. So how stack works? So I think everyone should know. So in memory, we are keeping code as well as raw data. So register files, registers, this will be heavily used, frequently used. So more frequently used data or instruction or code will place this in register. So as we all know that. So now embedded computers. So in today's scenario, we can build some embedded systems with the help of our existing knowledge. So nowadays we have so many embedded systems like washing machine, cleaning devices. So many embedded devices are there, and we can ourselves also design some embedded systems, embedded computers. So embedded computers mainly we are not implementing the a whole general purpose computing system. Instead, to perform some specific task, we are developing a system. Okay, heartbeat sensing, for that purpose, only for that purpose, we can use a system. So it will be highly customized to do some specific task repeatedly. So we have different processors. So depending on the overall hardware, we'll use the processors. So in washing machine, we will not use the processor that is present in our laptop. Okay, that efficient processor is not necessary in this system. So processor is dependent on the specific task or system. So this will allow us to reduce the cost. Okay, so if we always use a laptop or desktop for any type of work, for temperature monitoring to rocket launch, every time we are using the same processor, then it will be very costly. So we'll use specific processor to specific systems, and it will also allow us to power efficiently, power friendly. Now it will, you all know the history of computers, though we are not discussing. You can simply go through the slides. I will provide the slides. So we have divided in 5 generations depending on these fundamental factors: size, cost, power, efficiency, and reliability. So fifth generation and beyond. So right now we are in fifth generation, we can call. So here right now we are trying to implement the voice recognition system. Already we have developed some efficient system, and we are still trying to develop the NLP, natural language processing system. So in that case, you no need to input the data from keyboard, or so you can just say the system what to do. And parallel processing in a great way, and video processing, graphics processing. So image processing or video processing is a very big area. It is taking so much processor time. So nowadays we are using GPUs. So we need to improve in these fields: NLP, parallel processing, and image processing. Then we can achieve this fifth generation in a great way. So some comparison in performance cost. So as technology improved, you can see performance per unit cost is increased in a very great way. So it is increased rapidly. Exponential increase in performance is seen. But right now, using the CMOS technology, the performance is in the peak. So we need to implement some different technology to achieve the performance further. So you can see the exponential growth of the memory DRAM capacity and the overall performance. So now, what are coming in our near future, we can say. So we are approaching very fast in the race of performance. So we are trying to implement the grid computing. Already we have implemented a little bit. So any example of grid computing that you know or heard of? So grid computing mainly is related to distributed computing. Here in distributed places, so many computing devices will be placed, and collectively a bigger problem will be solved, will be divided, and will be solved together with this, or together with all these computing systems. An example is uh, finding the greatest prime number. What is the highest prime number present? So there is a program to find the highest prime number. So they are using this grid computing. So as a user, as you can also perform in this race of finding the highest prime number. Okay, so prime number is a very important factor in our computing industry in cryptography for security reasons. If you find if anyone is able to find the whatever highest prime number is present right now. If we find another that is higher than the previous one, then you will receive so much prize. Also, you will receive so much money as a maybe you can receive the Nobel Prize also, or some kind of prize. So this is an open challenge. So we have so many open challenges in computing industry. Another example you can say, nowadays we have blockchain technology. So in blockchain technology, we need to have so many miners, mining devices, and we need to have some communicate with all other devices also. So in this technology, this grip computing concept is it is being used. So now then we'll try to implement these intelligent homes, wearable computers. We wear so many computers in our body itself. And then we are implementing this nanotechnology. We can, in the medical field, we can uh, place some computers in the human body to recover the diseases. And then we have this quantum computing. So you all know that developing of this quantum computing is going on. So IBM, Google, all these major companies, corporates are trying to implement the quantum computer. So here we are trying to use the quantum state of a particle. So right now we are using two states, 0 or 1, high voltage, low voltage. So we have only two symbols in this present technology.
হ্যালো
But in
স্যার।
case of quantum tech, bolo.
স্যার বলছি একটু লিখে লিখে বলবেন, তাহলে মানে ভালো হতো আর কি।
লিখে লিখে কি লিখবো বলো?
মানে যেগুলো বলছেন, মানে এইগুলো, এই ইমেজগুলো না দেখিয়ে যদি আপনি বোর্ড ওয়ার্ক করে যদি বলতেন।
করে যদি একটু মানে ক্লিয়ার করে যদি একটু স্যার বলেন, যেরকম স্যার স্কুল মানে কলেজে হতো বোর্ডে লিখে ওরকম স্যার, তাহলে একটু ভালো হয়।
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
বোর্ডে দেখো, এগুলো তো সব আমি এখন থিওরি বলছি, মানে লাইন বলছি। যখন কিছু বোঝানোর হবে তখন বোর্ড ইউজ করার চেষ্টা করবো। বোর্ড বলতে পেইন্ট ইউজ করার চেষ্টা করব। এখন তো মেনলি আমি ওভারঅল একটা আইডিয়া বলছি। এখন এইগুলো টাইপ মানে লিখতে হবে বলতে আমাকে টাইপ করতে হবে।
ওকে স্যার, ঠিক আছে।
আছে
স্যার একটা গ্রাফিক ট্যাবলেট কিনে নিলে খুব সুবিধা হয়।
হ্যাঁ, গ্রাফিক
এই পেন ট্যাবলেট টাইপ যেটা হয় না, মানে কিছু টিচার্স ইউজ করে, তো ওটা খুব স্মুথ রাইটিং হয়, বোর্ডের মতন ড্র করে আর লিখে লিখে পড়ানো যায়।
আচ্ছা, অ্যাকচুয়ালি সবই ঠিক আছে, টেম্পোরারি স্টাফ তো জাস্ট ট্রাই করব কয়েক মাস একটু দেখি সেভিংস করে যদি কিনতে পারি।
ওকে স্যার।
Okay, so in right now, just a minute. So we have 0 and 1. So these are mainly representing two states. So everything, any data, anything is represented using this 0 and 1. So in electronic level, mainly it is high voltage and low voltage. Okay, not necessary, it will be always negative voltage. So it is, sorry, this is plus and this is minus. So it corresponds to approximately plus 5 volt, and it may be some minus volt or 0 volt. So any data is represented using these two difference in electric voltage in the electronic circuits. But in case of this quantum computing, so you all know in quantum computing we have 3 states. So a particular quantum, suppose, so this is a particular quantum, and suppose this is the area, and then this particular quantum in a time, in a exact time, the state of this quantum, so this may present be here or here, or it may be in the in between state also. Okay, so with the help of these properties of the particles, these quantum properties, we can build a computing system. So there mainly we'll have 3 symbols. So this particle has 3 states. It may be here in 3 states, it may be present mainly. Okay, so at least this much you can know, and I am sure many of you know this concept. So in that case, if we increase the symbol just by another, suppose we have 3 symbols, symbol A, B and C. So in this technology, CMOS technology, in underlying technology, we have 2 symbols available, 2 states available. But in case of this quantum computing devices, we are given 3 states. So we can use these 3 states to store the data. So you can think that if we just increase the symbol a little bit, then in the same memory space, okay, we can encode bigger numbers in the less space. So we have 3 different symbols available. So if our memory space is fixed, if we fix the memory space, and then we use this technology, this CMOS technology and this quantum technology, then in the same space, we are allowed to store more data. Okay, and in this way also the computing also, performance of computing also increased. So it will also increase. And then we have this DNA computing. So anyone, what is the full form of this DNA? Do you remember?
deoxyribonucleic acid.
Yes. So in DNA computing, we have also this DNA computing. So in DNA computing, we have DNA strands. So coronavirus is a RNA virus. It is a single stranded. Okay. So in a DNA, we have two strands. So what are the symbols in a DNA? Can you remember? We have A, T, G, C.
GHC.
Full forms are
Adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine.
yes. So this is a just very simple example of DNA. This is a single strand, and this is the complement strand. So we have here we have four symbols, you can say. So the question is, DNA is present in any living being. So should we use the cells from the DNA? Should we extract DNA from the living beings? No. We are able to develop, to design synthetic DNAs with the same structure of same biological structure, some kind of. So we can use this synthetic DNAs to develop a DNA computer. Okay, so here you can see we have four different symbols. Okay, so actually what happens, different DNA strands will be built to develop, to store the data in different combination. Okay, that will represent this combination of this ATGC will represent the different data. Different data will be represented using these strands. And the computing will be happen using the chemical reactions of different DNA strands. So we already built some DNA computer in the laboratory, and the performance is very high compared to the normal CMOS computers. Okay, so do you want to take 5 minutes break?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, after 5 minutes we will again start.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, actually, we have one class today.
একটা ক্লাস ছিল?
Yes, sir. Next class we have biology. So it's starting from 2:45.
240, 238. Okay, so let me take the attendance then.
স্যার আর্কিটেকচারে ল্যাব হবে?
ল্যাব আমরা নেক্সট উইক থেকে শুরু করব, একটা দুটো ক্লাস হয়ে যাওয়ার পরে দুটো সেকশনারি নেক্সট উইক থেকে ল্যাবটা শুরু করব। আজকে আর্কিটেকচারে ল্যাব হচ্ছে না। অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স কোথায় রাখলাম? That's a Google form. Okay, so the attendance from the Google form, I am not considering this attendance. Okay, that was mainly I provided whether the material is you have received or not. Actually, so many of you have, I think, complained. So I am not considering that particular attendance. ঠিক আছে, তোমরা আনমিউট করতে পারো। You can unmute yourself and you can respond. এটাই তো।
Yes, sir.
Roll number 61.
Absent.
62.
Yes, sir. Sir, আছে।
63. Onoy.
Yes, sir.
64. Anusri. 65. 66.
Present, sir.
67.
Present, sir.
68.
Yes, sir.
69.
Absent.
70.
Present, sir.
21.
Present, sir.
72.
Yes, sir.
73. So just 74.
Yes, sir.
25. 26. 76. 77. 78.
Absent, sir.
79.
Present, sir.
81.
Present, sir.
82.
Present, sir.
83. 84.
Present, sir.
85.
Present, sir.
86. 87.
Present, sir.
88. 89.